they're working on two different games from a perspective than we ever thought of as two separate versions, which means that when we get this game, it's going to be massive in scale because it's two different games and two different cantos. So if you read down here, these two different versions must be two separate Ultra Space Pockets because the same basic stories take place in both versions. A belt with subtitles charges to reflect the different environments. These could simply be viewed as history repeating itself, but alternate versions of classic characters show up in both, which indicates that can't technically be in the same timeline. So the Ultra Space was set up in previous games to explain these appearances and the break of these rules, but the learn is smart enough to not to shove this technological idea down the player's throat. Longtime fans will probably only be the ones who care about the explanation anyway, and are smart enough to come up with conclusions themselves. So even though we be playing this game, the game is not going to give us everything and tell us everything about really Ultra Space and all that stuff. They'll give us more information on it now because it's going to be more like a continuation from Sun and Moon a little bit in a way, because it's going to be telling you more about what the Ultra Holes do and why they do this and why they split them apart and all that stuff, because the evil team is going to be using that to their advantage. But at the same time, we're going to still be left on a cliff there because there's going to be always something in the game to continue to the next game to talk about more about. So there's going to be theories and speculation of why is this character here and all that stuff. So of course, we're gonna be making conclusions ourselves as well. Following theme of the main story's conflict with the enemy organization is to derive to destroy traditions in the quest to make huge leaps forward that will change and involve the future. The view tradition is holding the world back, and the player must help them to see otherwise. So it's basically trying to get rid of tradition entirely and say that the future is the only thing that matters. So stop worrying about the past. The future is cool, awesome, and that's all we need to worry about. And like tradition doesn't matter anymore, and which is kind of sad on their part as the evil team. But it's up to the player to make them see the tradition is not that bad. Tradition is just there to show you what happened in the past and how this came to being because of that past thing. So, which is cool. I like that concept. So, the evil team is not really evil, really. It's just more like a disagreement team, really. Then you have here, you have the one said is more than a disagreement between two moments than diabolical scheme. Like I said, not really evil team. This is quite interesting. The reason the movie 20th. The movie 20th and the movie 21 are alternate histories was to hint ideas presented which is in the games as well. As I said, this has been in the works for a while. So he must know something. This person must know something. He must be in the inside somehow. And he's basically saying this ultra theme that we have here with the ultra wormholes and stuff, this is all here as a thing to represent that there are splits in the timeline, that because of the ultra wormholes, it breaks the rules and bring these characters from different timelines and make this game kind of corrupt a bit. Instead of being this one subset timeline, it kind of breaks the rules because some people go here, they get thrown in this wormhole, they get thrown in this wormhole, and then they get thrown into the future or the past, and then they're stuck there, you know. And they say they show this off in the movies as well. So by having a 20th movie being like a start over, kind of like a reboot to the series of Ash's journey, and then the Ash we know in Alola is supposed to be continuing his journey from the journeys he's had before, and then the other Ash in the movie, the 21st movie, is going to be a completely different Ash as well. So it's like 3 different Ashes now. So and then we have this. These games were developed in excitement long time Pokemon fans. Also accessible for a few newfound franchise. Pokemon Go's popularity, production. The team caused them to add some more features. Accessibility, which is a long time fans original stretch. they scratch their heads, but they need to not worry because the games was rather alongside design before Go craze hit. And so using Go as a marketing could be more occasional players to try these games does not reach to the deep as some may think. After all, the games would be crazy not to include Go in some way because that's a marketing business thing. And plus, he's basically saying that this game was in development before Go, and then after Go got his crazed hit as an app, they said, "Oh, okay, we since they like Go so much, we're just gonna add a little part of Go in here. Let's do that. We're gonna do that for them. We're gonna slide that on in there." So when this index thing was coming out, they already had the game, started doing the game, the senior team, and then they're basically saying that the Go features came later on in the game. After Go got successful, they were like, "Oh, okay, so this Pokemon Go did well. We'll go ahead and add some features from Go into this game. Some features, but not all of them. We're not gonna make it like Go." Then they had this. They said that all 807 plus Pokemon appear in the World Pokedex, aka the National Dex, and you can get a decent amount of them between the two versions through familiar gimmicks. They've also prepared in some more popular Pokemon from newer generations in the wild, but only a small number appear on the route as not alternate older fans who are just returning to the franchise. The philosophy behind various decisions and developing the games was really about balancing, which I can agree on. Balance is good. The tradition that classic fans and the newer fan base are familiar with, while providing a loyal, longtime fans with significant, exciting new aspects, along with some of the fan service evolutions that the senior team has heard asking about for a while. He said, "I couldn't have come up with the exact number." So there's going to be a good amount of Pokemon in this game from the Gen 1 and up. And then they're going to have they're saying some newer Pokemon in here, which could include some of those unused designs that it's not even including those. And then you're talking about Kanto having these two separate versions that are supposed to be one pass on tradition and one more on futuristic of Kanto. And this just helps them marketing wise, because then people will have a reason to buy both versions of the game because they're like totally different in a way and totally the same in a way. So like they said, it's the same story, but one is more future, one more past. And having those two versions could be kind of cool, because then you'd be like, "Oh, I got Pokemon Pikachu, Let's Go Pikachu," and that one had more past stuff in it. Have these old characters had this blue leaf green in it, and they had red in it and all that stuff. And then you go to other futuristic one, and you have like the older looking red and older looking blue, and something along those lines. But that's all I got for you guys right now. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, obviously. And I will, of course, see you guys in the next video. Please tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of all this stuff. But this video is almost finna go over an hour. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below for all this information. I'll see you guys in the next video.